Good evening. Welcome to the Gahanna City Council meeting for Monday, May the 6th, 2024. Thank you all to those who have joined us this evening. Before our invocation, Pledge of Allegiance, and roll call, I wanted to remind those in attendance to please complete a speaker slip if you have not already done so. And as a reminder, we do request that when you approach the podium, our rules require that you state your name, your address, and that you'll have 3 minutes for your remarks. We will use a timer to ensure equitability and fairness for everyone in attendance tonight, and I will display it on the podium so you can hopefully see it and hear it when it goes off. Thank you again for all being here. With that, Mr. Weaver, would you please deliver the invocation?
As we gather, we are grateful for community. We give thanks for the opportunity to serve. In a world full of challenges, violence, and strife, we seek understanding and empathy, knowing we cannot fully understand the hurt and pain our neighbors and others around the world may feel. And as always, we endeavor to listen, to learn, and to better serve our community. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Weaver. Mr. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Bowers.
Here.
Jones.
Here.
McGregor.
Here.
Padova.
Here.
Renner.
Here.
Schnetzer. Here. Weaver.
Here.
Thank you. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda? All right, hearing none. The next section on our agenda is hearing of visitors. I have a number of speaker slips, and as a reminder, if you'd like to complete a speaker slip, please provide it to our deputy clerk to your left, and we'll go in the order that I received them. Our first speaker slip this evening is Annette Brood.
Hello, my name is Annette Brood. I live at 466 Allenby Court, and I've been a resident in Gahanna with my husband for 17 years. Last year, one of our neighbors had passed away. They sold his home to an Airbnb. Ever since the Airbnb came in, it has been a nightmare for us. They advertise it as housing for intel. What we have is 6 to 8 men in and out, parked on their garage on the street, jockeying their vehicles at 3 to 5 in the morning as they prepare to leave for work. This has been nonstop. A few times families will rent the place, but most of the time it's construction workers for intel coming in to stay anywhere from a week to a month. And as far as I can tell, there's not a whole lot of regulation for Airbnbs. And we would like to see this because I don't think you realize what this is going to do to our property value. When we try to sell and somebody is going to come in knowing there's an Airbnb right next door, their property is right next to ours. We can hear everything. And it has been very disruptive and upsetting for us. And I know the other neighbors feel this way too. So I just wanted to, well, I brought pictures so you can see all the traffic that comes and goes. We're a small court of 11 homes, and we have to put up with this constantly. And, you know, I implore you to make regulations so no more of these can come in. I mean, I fear we're a bunch of retired people on the street, and I fear that, you know, somebody's going to sell their home and another one will come in, and then that's just going to push us right out. So I just, you know, wanted to speak to you and see if there's anything we can do going forward to make sure these are regulated better. They're not invested in the community. They don't maintain the outside of the residence. It's full of weeds. So it's, you know, it's not like they're invested in Gahanna. They're just there to make a buck, which there's nothing wrong with that, but, you know, it's at the, you know, cost of the rest of us. So I just wanted to take the time and speak to you about that, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Brood. Our next speaker slip is from John Handler.
Hello, my name is John Handler, and I live at 1105 Arcaro Drive in Gahanna, 43230. I first want to say good evening to City Council members, and thank you for the opportunity to speak at tonight's meeting. Today is Holocaust Remembrance Day. As a proud Jewish man, it has been ingrained in me to never forget the atrocities the Jewish people went through in Nazi Germany. 6 million Jews were brutally abused and slaughtered as Hitler tried to commit his genocide. Sadly, the Jewish people are under attack again. As a father, I want to do everything to protect my family, and as a Jewish man, I feel it is necessary to speak tonight. It was brought to my attention that an organization called Motherful was invited by our Gahanna City Council to recognize them for Mother's Day. I always feel single mothers should be celebrated. However, this particular organization does not just stand for single mothers, rather they are anti-Israel. In doing research on their social media, I was horrified to see the hate towards Israel and the Jewish people. The claims of genocide and demanding the universities divest from Israel is terrifying. We chose to live in Gahanna as we feel the Jewish population is strong here while also having respect for the diversity within the community. We live in Gahanna because we have always felt safe and supported. It is confusing as to why our council would think it is okay to honor an organization that blatantly hates Jews. How in the world did you allow this to happen? What message do you think this is sending our schools and community? For the Jewish people, never again is now. This is why I feel I was called to speak today. I would strongly encourage anyone who is a member of Motherful to educate themselves with our history and perhaps spend time with Jewish families to truly understand what we are going through. I would encourage City Council to carefully research an organization like this before they want to honor them. In fact, you owe us, residents, and us, our family, an apology. I am incredibly proud to be a Jewish resident of Gahanna and raising Jewish children here. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you. The next slip we have is for Kathy McCorkle.
Kathy McCorkle, 677 Piccadilly Court, Gahanna. In your revised Mother's Day resolution, you forgot to include the historical fact that founder Anna Jarvis was so dismayed over the growing commercialization of Mother's Day and of groups using it to promote their own personal agenda, something this council is emboldening a certain group to do, that she eventually campaigned against the holiday, asking that it be rescinded. There is no national holiday for Single Mother's Day that recognizes only single mothers. Council members went from recognizing a radical Marxist group to creating a new holiday that elevates a select group of mothers over others. Only this sitting council could cause such a brouhaha over a cherished, long-standing holiday intended to honor all mothers. Single mothers should not be singled out and recognized as having a more vital role than any other group of mothers, including married mothers. That's not what Mother's Day is about. Stop dividing us. No adjective is necessary in front of the word mothers. Be inclusive and use only the word mothers. This revised resolution by certain council members is meant, I believe, to elevate an exclusive group of mothers over others. Remove the adjective single from mothers in this resolution. Then you will have corrected it and made it right. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker slip is for Lisa Woodward.
Not gonna stay. We didn't bring our stands. Okay. Good evening. My name is Lisa Woodward, and our office is at 254 Agler Road in Gahanna, Ohio. My name is Lisa, and I'm the co-founder of Motherful. I just want to acknowledge Councilwoman Kaylee Padova and Councilwoman Jamila Jones for seeing our vision, and also the city attorney for seeing our vision as well. We are a fierce community that fights for single mothers, giving them a restorative sense of self and unbreakable belonging. Motherful is a Black, Indigenous, mothers of color, multiracial, grassroots collective of single mothers in Columbus, Ohio, whose mission is to support, empower, and nurture single mother families through community education, resources, arts, and wellness. Founded in 2018 by single mothers, for single mothers, Motherful is a living, breathing, radical vision of the collective future of motherhood. Our collective currently has 500 members and is growing. Our collective is a non-hierarchical, matriarchal organization focused on reproductive and gender justice, racial justice, climate justice, maternal justice, and the intersections where these meet. In Columbus, 60% of households are run by single parents, and the majority are mothers. We are 5 years old, and for the last 4 years, we have been located right here in the city of Gahanna. We are blessed to have a partnership with the 254 Gahanna Teen Center, which houses our food pantry, resource garage, community garden, and supply storage. Here are some things we offer. Our moms can shop 3 days a week at our pantry, which is up to $300 value per week, and it's sponsored by Trader Joe's. We have Mobile Justice, which offers free pro bono legal advice. We have the Columbus Public Women's Health Mobile that comes. We have our own app so moms can communicate and access all of our resources. We have a diaper bank, a free store, a laundry soap refillery. We offer Reiki and acupuncture healing treatments, an emergency fund, and interest-free microloans. We do Mom's Night Out, and we have lots of community conversations in town halls. Some things we are working on is our Motherful housing developments. We're working on getting universal income for moms, and in June, we're starting a prepare meal program. We just received a grant in partnership from the United Way, and we are very excited about that. So to end, there are only 2 types of people in this world, mothers and their children, and that is a quote by Susanna Budapest. And now that you know a little bit about us, you will then hear from our Vice President of the Board, Martina, and our other co-founder, Heidi House, to address the reasons why we showed up today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Woodward. Ms. Necklace, I believe you're next, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Martina Necklace, and our office is located at 254 Agler Road. I come in support. I was a collective mother, or I am a collective mother. I am a single mother now. I began my journey with Motherful as a mother who did not know how to be a single mother. I grew up in a 2-parent household, very healthy, everything, but due to my circumstances, I was left there. I've never felt abandoned. I've never felt the loneliness or where, sharing of parenting could even come from. And when first day I walked into Motherful, I was met by Heidi and Lisa with a hug and just a sense of having somebody give that shawl of reinforcement of it's gonna be okay. And I learned how I was used to being in a relationship, raising my child with a team, a co-parent, with a spouse. And now they gave me the empowerment to know how to do that all myself, know how to provide, even when it came from a 2-parent household to a 1-parent income. I was not able to receive, they told me that I made too much money in order to receive any type of state funding. And the beautiful part of being able to receive food for my son, who was not only just regular food, but organic food, healthy food that I can support him with. And they also tell the mothers to look into yourself, make yourself healthy, and in that way you could turn into that beautiful mother that you needed to be. And it is so true. I'm living proof. And another reason why I am now the board vice president. And this organization truly empowers women. It has you on your 2 feet solid. And for this reason, I am compassionate about Motherful, and I will always sing praises to Lisa and Heidi for making their vision come to life. And thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Ms. Necklace. The last speaker slip we have this evening is from Heidi House.
Good evening. My name is Heidi House, and we are located at 254 Agler Road. As I said, my name is Heidi House, and I'm the co-founder and co-director of Motherful, which you just heard about. Although the only recognition we desire or require is that of the powerful and amazing mothers we organize with and serve, we were pleased and grateful to have our organization acknowledged by Councilmember Kaylee Padova in her proposed resolution for Mother's Day. We thank you, Kaylee, for your acknowledgement. Also want to thank Councilmember Jamil for her kind words and letter of support and solidarity. Just as single mothers often move through the world invisibilized and stigmatized, so too does our organization go overlooked and underfunded, and apparently misunderstood. This isn't new to us. Many people would much rather forget and ignore that single mothers have been ritually abandoned by society and leave them to suffer on their own, stereotyping them as lazy, to blame for their condition, and more. This is a grave injustice that we at Motherful work to combat. Because of this, we were not completely surprised when the proposed resolution was opposed by Councilmember Nancy McGregor and apparently community members. But Councilmember McGregor highlighted her own motherhood as if to say she is qualified to dismiss us. And imagine our horror that a mother and grandmother would take issue and strike down a resolution for the sole reason that we have chosen to take a stand and call for the protection of all children and to call for an end to genocide, which is our obligation as human beings with intact souls, and we believe an essentially significant obligation as mothers. Since when is calling for a ceasefire reason to dishonor someone? Tonight, we simply came to speak directly for ourselves and to educate you all, especially Nancy, because ironically, Councilmember Nancy, the original proclamation for Mother's Day in 1870 was in fact a ceasefire resolution. It was a call for disarmament. The appeal to womanhood throughout the world, later known as Mother's Day Proclamation, by abolitionist Julia Ward Howe, was an appeal for women to unite for peace in the world. Written in 1870, Howe's appeal to womanhood was a pacifist reaction to the war. The appeal was tied to Howe's feminist conviction that women had a responsibility to shape their societies at the political level. With this information and education, it is our expectation that you recognize what a poor and ill-informed decision you have made, and that our courageous organization in these dark times deserves all the honor, not only for the work we do as single mothers, but also for standing firmly on the right side of history and calling for end to genocide when so many cowards remain silent, or even worse, like yourself, dare to shame and punish those who do speak. And for this we cry, free, free, free Palestine, ceasefire now, all children are our children.
Thank you. All right, we move on to the consent agenda portion of tonight's agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as published?
So moved, Madam President.
A first by Mr. Schnetzer.
Second.
A second by Mr. Renner. Any discussion? All right, Mr. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Schnetzer?
Yes.
Renner?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
McGregor?
Yes.
Padova?
Yes.
Weaver?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes. All right, that concludes the consent agenda. Section E of the agenda, resolutions. We have one resolution on the agenda tonight. That's Resolution -20-2024, a resolution celebrating Mother's Day, May 12, 2024, and recognizing the vital role of single mothers. Is there a first for Resolution 20-2024?
So moved.
First by Ms. Jones,
Second.
a second by Ms. Padova. Is there any discussion of this resolution tonight? All right, hearing none, would you please call the roll?
Jones?
Yes.
Padova,
Yes.
McGregor,
Yes.
Renner,
Yes.
Schnetzer,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes. All right, resolution passes. Section F of the agenda, ordinances for introduction and first reading. Mr. Clerk, would you please read into the record the 6 ordinances listed under the agenda this evening?
Ordinance 0027-2024, an ordinance authorizing supplemental appropriations for water meter fees. Ordinance 0028-2024, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to award and enter into contract with Burgess and Nyepel Incorporated for professional services related to the 2025 Thoroughfare Plan. Ordinance 0029-2024, an ordinance authorizing supplemental appropriations, state capital grant fund, and capital improvement fund for trailhead construction at Academy Park. Ordinance 0030-2024, an ordinance authorizing supplemental appropriations, Manor Home TIF fund for dredging ponds at Hanna Park. Ordinance 0031-2024, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a school resource officer SRO contract with the Gahanna Jefferson Public Schools for the 2024 to 2025 school year. Lastly, Ordinance 0032-2024, an ordinance authorizing supplemental appropriations, Attorney General Training Fund for training expenses.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next section of the agenda, correspondence and actions. We have one item, FP-0001-2024. Mr. Clerk, would you identify and discuss this item, please?
Council, what this is a recommendation from the Planning Commission. This is to recommend a final plat application for Crescent Woods, consisting of the approximately 40 acres located on Hamilton Road. I do want to let council know that the applicant and/or their representative will be present at Committee of the Whole next week to discuss the final plat, answer any questions that council may have. I did reach out to the applicant, and they do intend on requesting a waiver and emergency adoption for this item.
Thank you, Mr. Van Meter. Anything else from council this evening? All right. Moving on to Section H of the agenda, representatives. First, we have Community Improvement Corporation representatives, Mr. Renner and Mr. Weaver.
Thank you, Madam President. The CIC met on April 16th at 8 a.m. in the committee room. We did not have a finance report as Leppert was still working on those for us. I expect those here at the next meeting. The mayor did give an update on several items. The planning department has been working on new permitting software for the last year. That's anticipated to go live when the new zoning code went live, if it's not already live. I see the mayor nodding. As I said, our meeting was in middle of April, so catching up here. Update on several new businesses coming to Creekside. As we've seen, Blue Agave has opened, anticipating opening soon for sugaring, bubble tea, and Speakeasy Bakery. Administration is continuing to work on the active transportation plan, thanks to a grant from the Ohio Department of Transportation. Goal for that is August for completion. Development Department gave an update. Received a letter from Visit Gahanna about using some parking lots for the Creekside Blues and Jazz Festival. Anticipate an agreement needing to be signed there. CIC is working with the Creekside District Alliance to take over the operation of the Cora, the Creekside Outdoor Refreshment Area, and we hope that Blue Agave will be a new member of the Cora. Ongoing discussions about the need for training and additional information regarding the agreement with Expedient. Look forward to more information there soon. CIC is working on scheduling a retreat. Looks like we'll do several sessions here in May and June regarding future plans, long-range planning, and so those are working to get on the books. Anything I missed, Mr. Renner?
No, sir. That sounds it.
That's it for me, Madam President.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Weaver. Back to you for Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission report.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. First of all, thank you to Clerk Van Meter for putting together the report that you'll find attached on your agenda. This attachment began under my predecessor as the MORPC liaison, Ms. Angelou. So I appreciate the clerk helping to put this together. Some events that I'd like to highlight. This Thursday is the MORPC Commission meeting I plan to attend. Prior to that meeting, there's a luncheon with Colonel Andrew Powers, who is the new commander of the 121st Air Refueling Wing, of the Ohio Air National Guard at Rickenbacker. He's responsible for operations training and the equipping of personnel in the aircraft there. Promises to be an informative event. On Thursday, May 16th, from 2 to 4 at MORPC is the Transportation Innovation Forum in celebration of 2024 Infrastructure Week. MORPC is holding the forum to provide a platform for engaging conversation on innovative transportation systems, management ideas, and initiatives. Thursday, May 23rd is Bike to Work Day. There's some events in downtown Columbus, but encourage folks who are able to get out and bike to work. Lastly, I'd like to highlight the Money Mondays. As folks know, they meet remotely every Monday from 1 to 1:30. Next week, the topic is AI 2.0, impact of AI and how it can be a helpful tool in crafting a grant application. On May 20th, Council on Development and Finance Agencies. And on June 3rd, the topic is the Government Accountability Office. And that is it for me this evening.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Weaver.
Madam President.
Ms. Padova with Convention and Visitors Bureau report.
Thank you. I saw a lot of you were at Herb Day on Saturday at Creekside, and it looked like that was a big success. This week is also Herb and Restaurant Week, so it is not too late to visit participating restaurant, which includes Lola and Giuseppe's, 101 Beer Kitchen, The Goat, High Bank, Barrel and Boar, and also Lola and Giuseppe's Bakery. So stop by one of these local restaurants. They have special menus for Urban Restaurant Week that include different herbs, and you can also try one of the herbal cocktails as well. That's all for me.
Thank you, Councilwoman Padova. Councilwoman Jones with our school board report.
Yeah, so just a few transition announcements. The last day for the central office of the school admin office at their current location is May 28th. They will be relocating temporarily for a 2 to 3 year contract, I believe they said, to 630 Morrison Road. That's just to allow more space as construction happens at the school. June and July, you can look for the current buildings to come down, so big change in the landscape of this block over the next couple of months. Also just wanted to let the community know that on April 23rd, we had our first school board and city quarterly meeting of the year. It was a productive conversation, where we talked big picture and how we collaborate. So look forward to those future conversations. And that's all for me today.
Thank you, Councilwoman Jones. Section I, official reports. Mayor Jadwin.
Thank you very much. Just a couple things. Last Friday, during our monthly Central Ohio Mayors and Managers Association meeting, we actually held a special event. We invited all of our state senators and state representatives to join us. CAMA, as that organization is called, is comprised of the mayors and city managers from all over the Central Ohio area. So we had multiple representatives and senators in the room with us. We talked about a variety of topics that are of concern to all municipalities. I think the first and foremost is home rule. And challenges that we are seeing to home rule down at the State House and why that is of particular concern to cities like us, and the importance of working together to try to protect that very important aspect of our Constitution. I think we had a very positive conversation. It was well received by the legislators that were in the room. We appreciated their participation, and we look to continue those on a quarterly basis potentially so that we can continue that dialogue to bridge that gap between what happens at the State House and really what the concerns of municipalities are. Income tax was another one that we talked about, and I think we all recognize that there's a very long thread that needs to be pulled on that if we're ever going to solve that problem. Along similar lines, I had the opportunity last week as well to participate in a regional planning meeting that was held downtown. It was organized by MORPC. There are many other leaders from both city and county levels at that meeting. We were updated on significant projects, everything from the next steps in the 70-71 interchange. Look for some major changes in that traffic flow coming this weekend. as well as link us and latest updates on that as well. We also had the opportunity to talk about what we are working on in our communities, which is always wonderful to hear what your peer communities and other municipalities are working on, because it also identifies opportunities for us to potentially collaborate. So great conversation that we had last week as well. Just a couple of staff updates. We have a new police officer who joined us last week, Chase Carter. We have 3 MORPC interns that will be beginning next week. Council actually has an intern. We have an intern who will be working in Parks and Recreation. And then a 3rd intern will be working with Senior Deputy Director Corey Weibensinger in the Department of Administrative Services on sustainability and related projects to that. We welcome 2 new parks maintenance workers, Eric Langdon and Deborah Abendroth. And sitting over here to my left is Tia Ramey, our new communications manager, who started with us last Monday. So welcome to her. Some sad news to share, bittersweet news, I should say. You all should be familiar with our planning manager, Logan Stang. Logan worked very closely with Director Blackford in getting that new zoning code across the finish line. He is moving to Powell. He has shared with us he has a tremendous promotional opportunity. He's going to be their director of planning. So you want to see your kids grow up and move on to new things, and we will miss him. He's been a tremendous asset, but we know this is the next step in his career as well. So he'll be leaving us later this month. The planning manager position is posted in the meantime. I am excited to say that most of our seasonal positions are full. We are nearly full, which is a far cry from where we were just a couple of years ago when we were really scrambling to find lifeguards and camp counselors, et cetera. We still have some needs in the paddle boats and events, so if you still know some folks who are looking for some summer hours, we have the perfect opportunity for them. We also have police officer and communications technicians positions that will be posted through the end of this month, so there's still that opportunity as well. And finally, it is National Public Service Recognition Week. The first week of May is held to recognize the people at federal, state, county, city, local, and tribal government levels, employees who make our day's work for us. Everything from the roads that we drive on, to your trash being picked up, to the water that comes out of your faucet is all due to government employees. And that's why we have this very special week to just recognize their efforts that so often go unsung. But really, their efforts are what allow us to go about our daily lives. So on behalf of that, we have 200-some employees who work for the city of Gahanna every day to serve our approximately 36,000 residents. And now is a time to say thank you to them and recognize them for all of their contributions in making Gahanna the great city that we love. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. City Attorney Tamma Larison.
Thank you. I would like to echo the mayor's comments about the importance of home rule for a jurisdiction such as ours. And to that end, I'm pleased to announce that I did attend the last court date for our tobacco preemption litigation, where we were successful in having a temporary restraining order granted, preventing the state from preempting our Tobacco Retail Licensing Act. So we have a green light now to go forward. There is a full hearing on that case coming up later this month that I intend to participate in as well. Thank you.
Thank you, City Attorney Tamma Larison. All right, council comment. We will start with Councilwoman Jones.
Thank you. So my April constituent report is live and available, attached to today's agenda. In that report, you'll also see that I have an upcoming Community Connect on May 20th at 6 p.m. right here in the lobby conference room. Again, these are an opportunity to engage in dialogue, to hear your concerns, and so I hope that residents can join us. Also just wanted to take a moment to say that this month in May, there are a lot of things that we should be aware of and can celebrate and recognize. It's already been brought to our attention that it is Holocaust Remembrance Month. It is also Jewish American Heritage Month. May is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, as well as Mental Health Awareness Month. So many things for us all to really celebrate our diversities, our differences, and hopefully to use this as an opportunity to learn about something that we don't know a lot about, or a different perspective, or a different culture. So I encourage people to take this as an opportunity this month to stretch outside of your bubble and learn a little bit more. Last, I just want to extend a heartfelt Happy Mother's Day to all mothers, mother figures, those who mother and nurture, even though they might not be biological children. Happy Mother's Day to those with partners or those who go at it alone, and even to those who may be longing to be a mother or are challenged on celebrating this day for whatever reason. I hope that you may somehow find peace and comfort, but a happy, happy day honoring all of those who nurture and take care of all of us. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Jones. Councilwoman McGregor.
I will echo your comments, say Happy Mother's Day. I thought one thing we didn't say were stepmothers, and I thought that was, I have a good friend who is a stepmother to a child that is not her child or her husband's child, and they parent that child just wonderfully and love her, and she is truly an inspiration of what a stepmother can be. They don't always have that opportunity, but she's done a wonderful job of it. We had the opportunity to go to San Antonio the last week of April. My granddaughter was a 3.9 student at Gahanna Lincoln, accepted Ohio State, and decided she didn't want to spend a lot of money if she didn't know what she was going to do. So she withdrew her money and her tuition, and she joined the Air Force full-time, a shock to all of us, and she graduated from basic training the last week of April. And there were 700 in her class. There were 700 kids, and it was very interesting. It was a very wonderful ceremony. The parents were also proud of their kids, and there were 2 flights, a flight being a group of Space Force people. And I guess I didn't know much about the Space Force, but these are a lot of the gamers that everybody said they need to get out of their basement and get a job, and these guys are in the Space Force, and they're the ones that are controlling the drones and different things in the military. So it was just a learning experience for all of us, and then we got to enjoy the Riverwalk too. But so anyway, it was a learning experience for all of us. And now she's off to Monterey, California, learning Russian. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman McGregor. Councilman Renner.
Yes, thank you. Under correspondence and actions, I did want to bring up that I think everybody here at the dais did receive a letter about the Elliott Park from the Stonehenge Company about their amazing commitment to environmentalism and energy reduction. They are going before the Ohio Air Quality Development Authority to help finance their addition of solar panels and their green infrastructure and other things. I think this is a very commendable action, and I urge everybody to actually reach out and forward a letter of endorsement of this project to the Ohio Air Quality Development Authority. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Renner. Councilwoman Padova.
Thank you. I just want to echo Councilwoman Jones' words of just wishing everyone Happy Mother's Day, whether you are a single mother, a mother with support, stepmother, or somebody longing to be one. I know that there are a lot of people who have a hard time with this day, whether they are wishing to be a mother, have lost their mother. So I send my love to all of those who are celebrating or wishing they could.
Thank you, Ms. Padova. Councilman Schnetzer.
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, of course, just to kind of echo some of the sentiments that have already been expressed. Happy Mom's Day. A couple of days in advance, I wish the moms in this chamber a relaxing and enjoyable Mother's Day this weekend. In community news, just want to post for anybody that may have interest, the Gahanna Lions Youth Football and Cheer League. Registration opened yesterday, 5/5 at 5 p.m. Gahanna Lions Youth Football participates in the COYFL, or the Central Ohio Youth Football League, and it is open to all students entering the 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th grades next school season. They can be found on Facebook at Gahanna Football League, and there's a link through registration there. So just figured I'd pass it along.
Thank you, Councilman Schnetzer. Councilman Weaver.
Thank you, Madam President. First, I'd like to thank everyone for being here this evening and for your comments. Greatly appreciate everybody who takes time out of their day to be here. Echo everybody else's comments and wishing everyone a happy Mother's Day. Again, I know it can be a difficult day for some, and if that's the case, may it land gently for you. It's been a few weeks since we've met and had the opportunity for council comment. Lots of exciting things have happened in the interim. Herb Day this past weekend was wonderful, so thank you to Visit Gahanna, the Gahanna Parks and Rec, all the volunteers who made the event possible. There was the Big Walnut Country Club storytelling event back on April 17th with Rita Smith. Wonderful event. Not to mention the Walk in Our Boots 5K on April 20th. So thanks to the Foreign Legion and all of our veterans and the volunteers who made that event possible. And as Councilmember Jones indicated, many different events and celebratory days and weeks and months here in the spring season. And one additional one that I'd like to highlight is Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. So thank you to all of our educators out there. And that's it for me, Madam President. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Weaver. One additional note about an event that may be of interest from one of our small businesses is the Collective Market at Collective Home Supply coming up on this Saturday, 11 to 4 at 166 Granville Street. It has become quite a lovely hub.
Madam President, if I may. The mayor has gently reminded me and humorously that this weekend is the spring musical at Gahanna, and encourage all to attend.
Oh, sorry.
Somewhat biased, as I happen to be married to the theater teacher.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I'll be in trouble when I get home. I'm also an alum of the Gahanna Lincoln Theater Program. I appreciate the softball and the tee up. So thank you.
Lots of great events happening this weekend. Support Gahanna Lincoln High School Theater and the Collective Home Supply Market as well. All right. A couple items from me. I have a constituent hour this Saturday, May 11th at 1 o'clock at the Gahanna branch of the library. So in between before you head to the theater, but after you stop at the Collective Market, come by the Gahanna Library for a constituent hour. Meet me there. I also wanted to shout out, it is also Professional Municipal Clerks Week, this first week of May. And so I wanted to recognize our very professional clerks, Clerk Van Meter and Deputy Clerk McGuire, as well as Mayor's Court Clerk/Director Amanda Parker. Your work is very much appreciated on behalf of our community as well. A couple of other updates from me. Last week, I attended a policy conversation with the policy committee of the Columbus Realtors. It was a really great opportunity to engage in more casual dialogue about, specifically about short-term rentals and how properties like that affect our community. I thought it was a really important conversation for the organization, for me to convey concerns from our community about short-term rentals and how other communities have addressed these through legislation. There's a couple creative ideas out there, so happy to work with the administration to come up with a good solution and to address these concerns. I also want to mention, sort of on that note, one of the things that came up at that meeting is just how tight-knit and supportive Gahanna is. And I think that may not, I can't speak to other communities around Central Ohio, but I have never lived in a place where there is as much collective support for each other as there is right here in Gahanna. It is an honor and a privilege to be a part of this community, even when we have our disagreements, to know that we are going to show up for each other. We're going to take care of a family in Royal Manor who had a house fire. We're going to take care of families who are going through surgeries or who lost a spouse. I mentioned to a friend earlier today that I know multiple younger women in my neighborhood who have lost spouses to early natural causes unexpectedly. And so, I do really honor what they are going through, but really know how supportive our community is to every family, and especially at in this month, as Councilwoman Jones specifically highlighted, so many ways for us to learn and to celebrate each other. And with that, we are going to go into an executive session this evening. We will not have any legislation coming out of executive session, and we anticipate to adjourn shortly thereafter. Thank you.
Need a motion?
No, not until after executive session.
Need a motion to go into
Oh, we do
executive
need a
session.
motion to go into executive session. Thank you. If I could entertain under item K, a motion to go into executive session under authority of section 5.4A of the Council Rules of Procedure to consider the appointment, employment, or compensation of a public employee. Is there a first?
So moved, Madam President.
First by Mr. Weaver. Second by Mr. Schnetzer. Any discussion? I'll just note that I've requested Mr. Van Meter to join us. We can meet back in the law library. Mr. Van Meter, would you please call the roll?
Weaver?
Yes.
Schnetzer? Yes. Padova?
Yes.
Renner?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
McGregor?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. And as mentioned, we will not have any legislation coming out of tonight's executive session. Thank you for all being here.